Yo, welcome to Conversations, Tyquan. You know, I got a special guest, my man Tyrone, the Notorious I.B.E. in the building. You know,
Yep.
so let's rap, bro. You know, first of all, you know, since you're a guest, you just gotta spit some bars real fast. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how we do it. Yeah, check it out. Tyrone. Yo, Ty, with Ty on the convo. Oh. Yo. What up? I wanted to hear Tyrone's song. You know what I'm saying? We just like hip bopping, like that's some real hip hop shit. You know?
Yeah.
That's what people don't know. Tyrone be on some real hip hop shit, man. Stop playing games, man. You know what I'm saying? Real with the shit, man. Straight up. I know Tyrone, you know? Straight up. You know? I know Tyrone. So let's rap about it.
Let's rap about it, yeah.
Yo, Tyrone, so what you up to, man? What's been up to? You know, I.B.E's in August. August what? 9th again?
9 to 11 this year, yeah.
Word up, man. And if anybody out there that haven't been to I.B.E, y'all should go to I.B.E, you know? We always, for me, I feel like it's the Disneyland of Breakin. You know what I mean? It's like the whole joint. It's like a B-boy, B-girl amusement park. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got everything going on at one time, and you get to choose what you want to do. You know? You want to compete? All right, you go compete. You want to just build with certain heads, and you have, you know, different type of workshops, and man, it's so many different events going on at the same time on different days, and the whole city turned into like a, I don't know, like a Breakin land, you know? So, but Tyrone, so let's talk about I.B.E and how that got started, you know what I mean? And we work our way there, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Long time ago, I get 1997. I saw Battle of the Year. 1997, saw Battle of the Year. Decided to, you know, go there with some friends.
Mm-hmm.
It actually went out that it was as a bus trip, 50 people. We went there.
Oh, and, word.
Yeah, it was like, you know, like I live in Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and there was still some old school b-boys from the 80s. And I guess everybody knows B-Boy Paulo, who's legendary European b-boy.
Right.
And I met the friends that was, you know, with him, that was around him. And I met Mario B, my organization, best friend, partner. You know, we've been together ever since. So I met Mario and his cousin Lloyd from Rotterdam. We used to be 010 B-boys together. Anyway, that's where it all started with a bus trip. And then we had to, you know, we was like, hey, we need to do something back home in our city. And that became I.B.E. And I approached the local music stage venue, so to say. It had 3 rooms. It had an outdoor park. There was a cafe.
Right.
And at that time, I was working. Actually, I'm doing my internship at one of the biggest concert promoters in the Netherlands. I did my internship there, and they were doing big concerts, big festivals. And it kind of like, around that time, I was introduced to Battle of the Year, Freestyle Session, Pro-Am, and Rocksteady Anniversary, and mainly B-Boy Summit. And from those events, B-Boy Summit, Pro-Am, and Rocksteady Anniversary, I kind of got the idea to do it like a festival, like all hip-hop elements, rather than to just organize a competition and make everybody go home after one day. So that was my inspiration. And then Mario, he went to Pro-Am in 2000, He went to Rocksteady University, and yeah, so that's where the festival idea came from. So to have multiple programs at the same time, happening at the same time, and to not focus just on the battles, but also on everything else that's happening in the culture. So at the first editions of IBE, we had like a film program. We invited Quick from Blade from New York, because I think he was living Quick, sorry, rest in peace Blade, but Quick was living in the Netherlands. So we did a graffiti program, we did music, yeah, and it's always been like that. And I stopped working for this concert promoter, festival promoter, and I entirely went on IBE. But quickly, I also started to organize the Dutch B-Boy Championships and other events. But basically, IBE, yeah, it's shaped and modeled after, inspired after B-Boy Summit, Pro-Am, and Rocksteady University. So like the cultural jams, yeah.
Yeah, and for me, IBE is more, it's a big festival too, you know? Like you say, it's not just come there and you battle like competition, what have you. It's more, you have different type of programs going on at the same time, with whether deal with film, music, you know, like you said, writing, you know, AKA, you know, graffiti, etc. You know, you have a block party where, right? You have a block party where, you know, it's all about building and socializing, music, having fun, you know, the whole 9 yards, what hip hop culture is about, right? And
yeah, yeah. Well, you know, at first it was more like to represent all elements, but then, you know, like these years, like 2000, 2003, 4, 5, the whole the B-Boy game worldwide was elevated, you know? I remember that Battle of the Year went to 10,000 people in like 2002 something, and you know, there was more exposure for Breakin. BC1 came around, so we kept our focus for all elements, but we tried to focus more on everything that's happening that derives from the dance itself, because just dance culture, just break culture is already like really, really wide, and there's so many things you can do. So now we don't, this, like the IBE right now, we don't have a B-Boy, a graffiti jam every year, but you know, but we do it whenever we feel that we want to do it. But it's basically, I found out that there's so much within dance culture that needs to be presented, and that's what we try to do.
Word. So it's like an overall umbrella. It's not just breaking only, right? It's other dance styles as well, you know, and that's what a lot of people need to understand, you know. So it's not like a only a b-boy, you know, type event, you know. Like you said, it's a dance, you know, that is a dance culture type ordeal, you know. So
yeah. Well, what I basically mean is that you know, there's also people that want to be boys that do art, like Menno or Nasty Ray, you know. Both of them came to IBE and did something. There's people that do photography. There's people that that like to party. So there's people that are into fashion. So we try to get, you know, those things that people are interested in and what they do outside breaking. They can bring it. We try to give them a platform where they can also showcase those things, you know. So that's kind of like that's what changed, because when we moved from Rotterdam to where we are right now, that's the big change, because before, when we started in Rotterdam, it was like in a club, and I don't know if you ever went to Outbreak, but Outbreak, to me, feels like the older IBEs. It's a little bit more raw. It's a little bit more on the breaking. The emphasis of more on breaking than in IBE right now. But when we moved to Heerlen, there was no club available. We couldn't. There was no such club as in Rotterdam. So the Nighttown club in Rotterdam was amazing, and it was grimy. And back then, people were still smoking in the venue. They were still, it was crazy. But when we moved to this other city, Heerlen, which is in the south of the Netherlands, there was no such venue available. So we had to go all city. We had to go to multiple venues, smaller venues, outdoor squares and streets, and that demands from you that you have a wider scope of programming. You can't just do 10 b-boy battles at the same time at different venues. So now we have a dance school where we have the workshops. We have an open square where we have some more like block jam type of events. We have a food court, a hip hop market. All these things count, So to make it diverse, because you also need to deal with the general public that's visiting. We have a lot of programs which are free, which you don't need to pay admission, and they are visited by the general public, and that's a good thing to have the core b-boy scene community come together and mix it with like people who are more further away from the culture, but still interested and still they want to learn about the whole break-in or dance culture. So it's tough. It's tough because it's like 60, 70 programs in 3 days, but we have a big team and it works. Yeah.
And so since it's a big, I'll say big festival, how long does it take for you guys to organize this on a back end, Because I think a lot of people like to judge, like, IBE this and that, saying all this negativity, but they don't know how much work is put in with you and your team, So if you can talk about that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, people sometimes think that I run the IBE, or because that's what's most of the events in the b-boy scene, how they work. There's one person, and he throws a jam, or he has his crew as backup, and everybody knows, that's his jam, or that's But in IBE, it doesn't work like that. We are a part of an organization, and so there's a big team. There's a team of like 11 people who are working on IBE the whole year round.
Wow.
And,
okay.
And because we are funded, and here we go.
we'll talk about that, but just keep going. Yeah.
Because of the structure that that is available in the Netherlands, you need a board. You need a set of people, like a director, a treasurer, like in any normal company, that prevents from any of the staff running or pocketing the money, because it's cultural funded support from the city, from the state, and in the Netherlands, if you have a cultural event, or you have a dance company, or whatever you do in the cultural field, you can apply for funding. You can apply for funding, but you need a board. You need a board which is separate from your which is like a controlling mechanism. And that's in our board is 5 people, and our, like, so to say, office team is 5 to 6 people. So that's a good 11 people that work the whole year round. Whereas the 5 to 6 office people, they try to organize the event, and the board is constantly checking, constantly making sure that everything that needs to be, all the guidelines that the city or the funding parties that they put on us, that they are followed by, that we live by them.
Nice.
And yeah, well, that's, and then, you know, along throughout the year, I reach out to people. I reach out to designers. I reach out to people that want to organize with us. So it just gets more people. 11 months, 10 months, 9 months, 8 months before the festival. The closer we get to the festival, the more people we are. And I want people to know that the program is so extensive in I.B.E. that we decided a few years back, we decided that we wanted to get this big funding, you know? And the Dutch government or culture, or one of the bigger funds in the Netherlands, they're not really interested in Breakin, or like, well, they're interested in Breakin, but not specifically that whatever we do with it, you know, like, for them, hip hop dance is hip hop dance, whether it's poppin' or lockin' or house or breaking. But what they want to support is the way people work together and try to build something, and try to bridge between certain underground scenes and the general public. So when we looked into the requirements of those funds, and they said, hey, if you could work together with other organizations that will help you present some programs better, then we'll support you. And that's where we got our latest model from, which is in place since 2017. So since 2017, the I.B.E. has to cooperate with about 15 to 20 local, national, and international partners.
Wow.
And it's a blessing, because when you invite Street Off, or when you invite Flomo Crew, or when you invite, I don't know, Break Free, they're gonna bring their knowledge, you know, and they're gonna bring their audience, they're gonna bring their people, because they know so much more in what they're good at. And this is really, really, really nice that we could do this. It's a hard job, because you need to communicate with all those people, and that's what I do throughout the year. I get in contact with people that want to do a talk show, others that want to do a workshop or a battle, and then we try to put them in the timetable. Yeah.
Yo, that's a blessing, bro. And now a lot of people would know, what goes on. There's a lot of check and balances. You know, there's a overseer. There's like a little group that do check on what Tyrone, and his team are doing, and because I feel like there's a lot of hearsay that's going on, of without even fact checking, of what the structure of what behind the scene of what I.B.E is about. I mean, me working with a lot of organization before, like I know certain things, so when I hear all this, I'm like, yo, there's always check and balance, like, come on, you guys are saying some dumb shit, but at the end of the day, first thing I ask them, like, yo, have you been to I.B.E? The answer would be no. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can you judge something without being a part of it, And I know for sure many people that have a certain views about I.B.E, when they go to I.B.E and after that, they're like, whoa, it's like a true, their third eye just opened up, like, wow, I didn't know it was like this, So, but with that being said, I just want to get the facts out. I want to have the platform for you to speak. I know there's a lot of accusation, allegedly, like you keeping all the money for yourself. This and that, and you're not, paying b-boys, what have you. Like, I just want to, have this time for you to, go down the list, let it be known, and we'll go from there, man.
Well, first of all, I don't really see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blocked from a lot of these people's websites or social media accounts. First of all,
Right.
but that's okay because I don't really believe in going vocal through social media. I and if you do, if you're vocal on social media, make sure you're also vocal in the real world. If it's just you being one-sided and you're online, that doesn't work for me. I need to, and so I don't really see it. But sometimes people hit me up and say, hey, such and such or this and this, and he said this and he posted this, and it's kind of annoying to see because I have an answer for everything. And it would be so much easier if these people just ask me, and I'll tell them. And the thing is, I.B.E is extensive. It's big, so there's many things, and which I understand that it's hard to understand for an outsider.
Right.
And but yeah, but there's people say the dumbest things, really, and I guess that goes for a lot of things that people, when they don't know or when they assume, they'll just make an opinion. But for instance, like when you do research, you can find everything about the I.B.E because we're a public funded, government funded event. But if you dig up only half, not even 1% of the facts, and you base your story on it, then I can't do nothing with that, There's nothing for me to respond because I don't want to go vocal on internet and be like, yo, this is not true. This is no. And look, just one simple thing. We get 220,000 euro for a period of 4 years. Yeah? It's the state puts it online for everybody to see. And like I told you, that's not just I.B.E, that's for all the cultural events that get funding. People need to know, and it needs to be transparent. So, if you want to know how much funding I.B.E gets from this fund or from that organization, you can find it. And this 220,000 came up, because some people found it. And the funny thing is that people in the U.S., and because that's what mainly the hate's coming from the U.S., who cannot read Dutch, who cannot even read or speak Dutch, are basing their story upon a document that they found. You know what I mean? And then somebody says, yeah, he makes $1 million, close to $1 million. Because he multiplied the 220,000 by 4.
Right.
And said, I make almost $1 million.
Right.
Whereas the text, the document that you have in front of you, it speaks for itself. It's written there. This organization gets €55,000 for per year.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing is, people go berserk, right?
Right.
But you know that there's another event, a smaller event in the Netherlands that gets even more money.
Right.
And the ruggeds get money, and this and this get money, because that's how it works in the Netherlands, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you have your people and you have the experience, you can write a grant and you can, maybe get some money.
Mm-hmm.
But then for people to think that I myself single-handedly wrote for a grant as a private person and put 1 million euro in my pocket, how is that possible?
So,
You understand what I mean? And
yes.
yeah, and then to write that, another example, that all the venues are for free in I.B.E. And I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't I just have an invoice of almost close to 14,000 euro for the theater venue? So I'm open to discuss everything, but people should approach me or with decency, with a normal understanding of how you demand something from another person that you never met, and keep the decency, man. Keep you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because,
yeah, that integrity,
and this is why I'm like, I'm sorry, I cannot there's nothing that interests me or that calls inside me to react, maybe online or whatever, because if somebody just writes or name calling, and it's a shame,
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you just go on vacation and spend some time and met people from all over the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when you travel, you find out that, oh my God, this whole hip hop thing or breaking thing is bigger than myself, my world, my friends. It's so big.
Bro,
you need to
exactly.
speak with your hand and your feet sometimes, because the person on the other person doesn't understand your language.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell him that you come from Detroit, he's like, where are you from?
Right.
So to think that to just post your opinion and write it in text, saying something about somebody who lives 10,000 miles away from where you are in a different country. I speak English to you right now, right? We speak English.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But that's not my language, bro. I speak Dutch. I'm from the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think sometimes because we feel like one community. We all watch the same videos. We all are attracted by the same things, that we think that it kind of makes you feel that the world's small, but it actually isn't. It's a very big world. And you need to have some decency and respect for people from other cultures, from other countries. You just can't say like, yo, this B-boy in China, he's a biter. Or, yo, this event in Argentina, this guy sucks. And I'm like, why would you? Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to spend your time with that kind of like negativity? Whereas you yourself in your close environment or in your country or in your region could do so much.
I agree.
Because that's one thing that's for sure. Everybody in his own region or city or country, there's still so much to fix when it comes to this culture. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's kind of hard because there's so many things that people write and say, like, and I don't want to go react on everything, because if I say this, then somebody else will, They will be like, no, and how about this? And how about that? You know, I think if you just visit the IBE first, first come, first see, and then you can ask, but in a polite way, man. That's how I was raised, and I think most of the people are raised that way. You just can't go, you know, bash somebody out in text, man. That's not what we do. That's not what hip hop's about. So, I don't know. Look, lately there's a big thing about IBE doesn't have prize money or whatever. That's one thing I want to comment on because it's not true. You know, there is prize money, but we just don't really advertise with it. You know, like and 1 year because the programming is always different, right? So the winners of the Undisputed always get sent to the finals. Last year, this year, like say 2018 edition, the winners of the crew competition got all expenses paid to China. The year before, I paid 4,000 euro to the Ukrainian crew, which they used to go to freestyle session. You know. But I didn't make a big check that said winner of the crew battle gets paid 4,000 euro. Because I believe that's not what IBE is about. You understand what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes the smaller events, they need that. They need to put that prize money up front on the poster because people will. That's why they compete, because it's a competition. Right. And in IBE, there's 70 programs, and I'll just announce the program, and you know, and whoever wins, and then we hand over the prize money. But just because people didn't see it, they think that we didn't give the prize money. You understand what I mean?
Right.
Because they have what you call it, a small view of an outside view of what we are, and that's not good. And so this whole prize money thing, I don't know, man. It's like going to telling something what you think that you've never. The people that are saying this right now have never been to the IBE. And then they're saying that we need to put prize money. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they've never been. You
know
what I mean?
Right.
And then there is prize money because for some of the competitions, the winner gets a reward. But just because you didn't see it, it doesn't mean that we didn't give it. You understand what I mean? But that's just one thing. You know, like people might have seen the Crash Bandicoot, right? Because that was one of the programs in IBE this year. For the last 2 years, we did the Crash Bandicoot. That's his trick battle by Taufik from the Ruggeds.
Right.
And we did Street Off, and we did Zamunda, and we did Capella. Capella, you know Capella?
Yeah, Capella, yes.
The House Dance Forever. Well, all of them got a budget from us, you know? Because that's how it works. The IBE, we sit down with these organizations and ask them if they would want to take part in the programming, and then they'll curate a certain stage or a certain area, and we give them a budget. Now Taufik, he made a real nice trophy. He made a real nice jacket for the Crash Bandicoot, you know. And that's what he did. But then people see it, and then they go, "Oh, there's no prize money," you know. Taufik did everything, you know, what was in his budget and what was in his power to have an honorful winner. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And you know what? All those winners from all those competitions, like Crash Bandicoot or House of Capella or whatever, or the one-on-one or the footwear battle, nobody ever complains because they know they've been honored and they got what they, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And but then a few people that never went to the event are making up these stories.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it is crazy.
And then to think that some of them are, you know, they are matured people, man, right? And
yeah, these are like grown men.
Grown men, you know.
Right.
And I have no problem with people questioning things. You know, it's a good thing that people can be critical and can have questions. But if you just like swearing and using curse words and you know, I'm like, wow, this is what can I do with that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you know, if I don't see it, I didn't see it. Sorry.
Right.
You know, people tell me sometimes, but it's and sometimes I read through the comments or read through the things, you know, but I'd rather speak to somebody personal, you know, and you know, and that's what.
But that's the right way of, you know, of speaking to that person face to face, you know, and at least build with them to even understand. Because if you don't know, you gotta ask, you know, to that person directly and not make stories or hearsay of what, you know, of what they heard or the gossip, and you know. So I feel like that's why I want you to be on, because I feel like, man, I know you for a long time, and I keep seeing this and that, and I've been trying to ignore it as well, you know. But at the end of the day, man, you know, I was like, look, I gotta have Tyrone on, let him speak his piece, you know, and that's why, you know, I hit you up, and here we are, you know, and honestly, Tyrone, for 55,000 euros of that budget, of put on IBE, bro, you guys like manage that budget right, because like I said, I've been to IBE before. I know, you know, I've been to IBE like 2 or 3 times. It is so
let me
massive.
correct that. Let me correct that. The budget, of course, is bigger. Is way bigger. You know. But it was just an example of somebody found this document, which anybody can find. Anybody can dig it up. It's just open, and they fabricated the story because they thought they had some obscure factual document, which is not. You know.
Right.
To throw an event like the IBE is way more than 55,000. I'm telling you. You know, it costs a lot of money, but you need to go to the IBE, yeah, and see how much is at in place, you know, and maybe if you want to know about it, then what you do right now, you ask me how many people are at work, you know, what do you do, Tyrone? Are you the boss of IBE? And I'm telling you, no, I'm not the boss of IBE, because if I want to do some things in IBE, like the programming wise, or I want to invite this guy from Japan, the board might say no because I'm taking too much risk, you know. So there's a board, so it's kind of complicated to just answer it in one sentence, but it's easy. It's just easy like that to say, yo, Tyrone's stealing the money, you know, or yo, Mario just bought a new car, you know,
Right.
And that's the big thing. That's like it's kind of like irritating because, you know, to respond it takes more words than for the people that are just being vocal and just saying like, yo, this is blah 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 and so and so and so, you know. And so I feel like, yeah, but it doesn't bring anything. And the one thing which is like kind of like sad is that the whole hating, it just gets worse and worse and worse, you know. And I mean, 2 years ago, the Dutch tax office, like in US it's called IRS, right?
Right.
Yeah. So they visited us and they said, yeah, we need to check you guys because somebody's been complaining about your books and your accounts.
Wow.
And we were like, what? So this shit is not even online no more. It goes offline into the real world. People are hating that hard, you know. So somebody made a phone call to the Dutch tax office and said, we're stealing money.
And after that audit, everything was clean.
After the audit, I have the proof. The audit said it was clean. You know,
bro.
And
but the fact that you even have to go through that, right? Like, come on, man. Yo, Tyrone.
Yeah, Rock's right.
Haters shit for that one. Rock's right. Yo, Rox, what up? Rox Rice is in the building. The scientist.
Yep. No.
Yeah, it's just the fact that you even have, like, me, I get stressed out. IRS even, like, want to audit my own tax, you know? Now, just imagine you did everything right in the books, right? And all of a sudden, because some hating ass motherfuckers 10,000 miles away made a phone call, and then, you know, the IRS got to show up to my door, my business door, or whatever my organization. And like, hey, I gotta audit you. I'm like, what? Like, come on, man, really? You know? And everything else looks clean. Like, that's wilding to me, man. You know, it takes that much time and effort. Like, do these people like lose sleep at night? You know what I'm saying? Cause man, like, come on, calling the Dutch tax agency just to come audit y'all. That's crazy to me, man.
But you know what? I was happy with the audit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because everything's clean. So, and if it wasn't, I wouldn't be telling you. But you know, I can tell with pride right now that our books were clean. You know, and I posted it on Facebook and said, hey, somebody wanted to be a motherfucker and you know send the tax officers to our office, and then everybody was like, yeah. We know where it's coming from, you know. So it doesn't help these people, you know. What the only thing that will help these people is just to come and visit and sit down, because obviously they have issues, you know. And if you have issues, so many people just ask, you know, why, Tyrone, why? Explain me why. And I think. There's nothing wrong with that. Just ask. People ask all the time, yo, why did I lose? You know, why did I didn't win? Why did I? So all of a sudden, you can't ask a promoter, what's up? You know, that's wrong, man. That's wrong. I thought our culture, the big value is that we can speak eye to eye with everybody, openly, with respect. You know,
right.
Peace, love, unity, and having fun. You know.
Yeah.
When you ask a question, that it goes under that motto. But with the hate and everything, no, man. And people making up stories. But you know how it is. I mean, a few years back, it was Battle of the Year, or it's Red Bull, or it's this guy or that festival. And I think, we've been around for 20 years.
People need to appreciate more, you know?
What do you say? Sorry?
I'd say people need to appreciate more of what's out there, because everything can be gone the next day, right? And there's nothing, or place or platform for us to even, you know, go to, you know? So,
if you don't want to appreciate what the next man's doing, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But shut up.
Mm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
what's it to you to be going vocal or online and write all these things that are not true because you don't know if they're true because somebody just told you because you've never been, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you never heard anything, you never checked, but then you're just mad. Can I be mad at freestyle session if I never went to freestyle session and I'm just gonna write something about freestyle session but I've never been?
Mm.
You know? No, you can't, you know, because you've never been there, you've never done anything there, you've never talked to Cross One.
Right.
So how can you be upset?
Right.
And that's bad. But you know, to come back to the thing that I talked about with the tax and IRS, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it got worse this year in 2018.
What?
Yeah, it got even worse.
Wait. So they visit you guys again this year?
No, not the tax, not the tax office, but
okay.
you know, I'm part of a bigger a festival, not the IBE,
Mm-hmm.
but I work in the city of Eindhoven a lot, and I'm a part of World B-Boy Classic,
Right.
which is now owned by Nick from
Mm-hmm.
the Ruggeds.
Mm-hmm.
And out of nothing, somebody, you know, thought it was a good idea to write a letter and start spreading stories under a false name, you know,
Wow.
and send it to the local newspaper.
That's crazy.
You know? Yeah, that's crazy. And I think, bro, that's and I think the good thing is that none of us, because it was a lot of people, it was a lot of like other people involved. Yeah, it's not just me or Nick or Mario B. It was a lot of people, and it, you know, same again. We had to go prove to to the newspaper, to the cities, to all the funding parties that we're clean, that we're good, we're not doing anything wrong, and it, you know, the investigation took like 3 months. Yeah. And we had to pay for those costs for those people, because the city and the funding parties, they demanded that a third party is investigating, you know. But it went really well, bro, you know, because there's a document now that says, hey, you guys are straight. You guys are clean. You're doing everything by the book. Everything. So,
Bro.
You know,
See, that pisses me off, man. Like, straight up. Like, knowing that, you know, like, what you have to go through, you know, when you just want to provide a platform for everybody and or Nick. And, you know, it's crazy to me that, you know, cats like y'all have to go through that whole process, man. I would go crazy, man. Like I would like clean shit, but then I'll go some street shit like, yo, when I see you, it's on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
but that's me though. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, when I see you, like,
but
like,
at least
I couldn't take it, bro.
But at least if you have a problem like that, right? If you are so full of hate, so full of like whatever, you can't stand it, then be a man, you know? Don't go undercover, make a phone call to the IRS, write a letter incognito with a
That's
fake,
on.
you know?
Yeah, if you want to talk about street, you know, hip hop in the streets and stuff, like, yo, why you snitching, dog? You know what I'm saying? Why you a rat? Like you want to talk about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why you a rat? You know what I'm saying? Like, stop being a rat. You know, like, come on, man. And that's the thing. Like in the streets, like, woo, you don't snitch, you don't rat, or whatever, what have you. You know, but at the end of the day, I'm glad, you know, in a way that they did that. Like you went through the process and it's clean. You have this whole document say, yo, we're official.
Yeah.
And I feel like now they know that you're official. Now it's another topic, right? It's just, yo, you got to give money out to so and so, and it's always going to be like that. Once they find something, if that don't work, they're gonna go to the next topic, and trying to scrutinize, and then trying to find another topic, and it's gonna keep going. It's never gonna stop. I feel like they need drama in their life for some apparent reason, So that shit is crazy, man.
Yeah, I think just like I know every year for 3 days people come together for 3 days, man. 3 days, three
Right.
out of 365 for 3 days, people having fun. And if you're not there, if you don't want to be there, then don't be there. You know what I mean? But if you need 365 days to hate on something which is happening only 3 days in the year, and you don't have even all the facts, how look, it's already ridiculous when I'm saying it to you. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Man,
but
I don't know what it is, man.
But it's a change also. Maybe in society, maybe lately people have been more arrogant, have been more, less mannered towards other people with their opinions. Social media, of course, helps a lot, and I think it's a good thing that we have an instrument as dancing. It helps us not to be having to be occupied with all these other things that are happening. The dance is our outlet. The culture is our outlet. Don't bring any of this like negativity or haterism that people do online or in society, which is hardening. You know what I mean? Why you have to bring that aspect into our scene? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I think the way some of us been treated, and I should say like Renegade, like Thomas, like any a lot of people get once in a while, they get their portion of hate, and you don't wish it on nobody, and that's why you're not gonna see me. I told you I'll talk to you, Tyquan, just once. I'll speak my piece.
Respect, brother.
But I don't have the time to go online,
I feel you.
And because you know why? Because if I go online and I say something about it, it takes me 5 minutes to write 2 sentences. You know why? Because I think about what I write. You know what I mean? I try to put it politely. If I say I disagree, I need to erase my sentence 3-4 times because I choose my words. You know what I mean? Because that's
you want to be professional.
That's what normal people do. But these people, they don't need to think 1 second about what they're writing because they can just write, and then to use words like you a cancer, you this, you fat piece, you blah, that.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. I want to, shout to you. Thank you for coming on, and just keep doing good work for the culture, bro. I know what it is. Ness know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. Keep doing your thing. Shouts to everybody that joining. Hey, you heard it first, man. Tyrone, you let it be known. So,
yeah, you know what? Look, the thing is, I don't want to talk about negativity surrounding like the I.B.E. for like a good 30, 45 minutes because it's a waste of my time actually, and it's a waste of everybody's time. When there's so many.
Because you were saying something about before you got cut off. so you can
you see
continue
me?
that. Yeah, I can see you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Look. It's kind of sad that we have to talk about this for so long, right? When
Mhm.
when I see all these people coming up and like, Rock's right. Like an hour ago, he just sent me a message like, "Yo, Ty, you know,
Mhm.
I support you, and
Mhm.
people do it all the time, and that's hard warming. You know what I mean? It's and and all of us at IBE and it's just not just me, it's everybody. You, you know that we have a woman in our team,
Okay.
and actually the woman and her husband are like, they're like around 55 years old, have nothing to do with Breakin or nothing, but they
Mm.
help out every year and they work the whole year around.
Mm.
And and I can't bother these people with like, "Yo, such and such is hating," and they're like, "What?" They don't even
What?
understand. They don't even understand that. They're like, why would somebody want to hate on what's happening, right?
Bro.
And
Right.
so let's not spend any more time on that. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what I do want to say is that, because there's also a lot of good things been happening in the community. You know, um, the
Mhm.
scene is the world of breaking is so much bigger
Mhm.
today. So much more people are involved. So much people have access to the culture, and that's a
Mhm.
good thing. That's great. And I feel that more people should try to embrace that. And like you yourself, you went to Spain, right?
Yeah, Spain. Yep.
Yeah,
Mallorca. You know,
yeah.
met beautiful people there. The scene is great. The B boys and B girls, not just B boy B girls, but the poppers. The lock. Like, bro, it's a whole culture, and then, bro, the graffiti's on point. Like, bro, it's crazy, man. When you go to these countries and you see how the culture being represented, like you can't hate. Like, you don't have no hate in you. It's like, damn, I can't believe this. It got this so big, and you really appreciate. You sit back, you be like, from country to country, it has that same type of principle, right? Peace, love, unity, having fun, and everybody just enjoying themselves, and like you said, that even though that language barrier, right? We can still speak to each other in a way with the sign, like in a way we understand each other, and it's a beautiful thing. It's great.
Exactly. It's like, but if you don't want to be a part of that, then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, then go do something else, or go do it your way, or go
Mm-hmm.
try to do your um, do your part in any other way you can. And
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I just want to say, look, if people want to know about IBE, about what we do, we're open. Um, do better research. Everything's online. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't take the words from somebody else, and just do your own research, man. And
Right, right.
and that's the thing. And there's so many people working really really hard right now all over the world. And um, yeah, I'm like,
Uh,
it's and we're just trying to do our part for 3 days of the year.
mm-hmm.
And I hope that people come visit. But if they don't, that's all good. That's all good with me. That's all good with our team. That's all
Right.
good with everybody. Um, I just think it's amazing that um, the dance is a way for people to meet each other and talk to each other. But
Yeah.
keep in mind, never forget that you keep the decency, man. Keep the manners, keep the respect. And
Yep.
yeah, that's what I wanted to
Yeah,
end on
and
a good note.
honestly, I learned a lot. you know, IBE opened up my mind to a lot of things. You know, when I first touched down and I started seeing how people, you know, interact with each other, and that's something. You know, I came from a different background. You know, like coming from the streets and stuff like that, and I got into Breakin and but IBE, like when I went to IBE, I was like, man, this is beautiful. You know, like that's the first time I was interacting with people from different countries at one place. You know, language barrier communication wasn't there, but like I said earlier, I was able to understand them. They was able to understand me. We kind of like share this. You know, you can't explain it. You know, like this uh this experience of man of unity, you know, and building and man, wow, you from Russia or I'm from, you know, let me learn about you and vice versa and
Yeah.
bro, it's like that the whole weekend for me, you know.
Yeah. But you know that I get the same feeling if I go to Outbreak. I really
Yeah, of course.
I had a good time when I went to Silverback this year. You know, I don't really enjoy IBE because
you're busy.
You know, having a bit of a rush and stress. But I any event is good, you know, because I believe that the person that put up the event or the activity or the workshop, he or she did that to add something to bring something to the table, to do something for the culture, you know.
Right.
So why would I want to think bad about or speak bad about a competition or a workshop, you know? Look, if people complain because they didn't win a competition or they didn't feel that, you know, they've been, you know, the right calls were made, you know, that's about enough discussion that we need in the scene, you know. The rest is just beautiful. And I think it's beautiful because it's 2019 and in this digital age, this social media, internet, it's beautiful that young people, and I'm speaking young people, want to do something which is actually analog, you know, which you actually still, you don't need no device, you don't need no nothing, just your arms, your body, your legs, your feet, and which is like, you know, it's one of the most beautiful things. If and I don't know why you would want to hate on that, you know, and so kudos to everybody who's doing their thing. And I also know that lately a lot of people have come closer, you know. Although it seems that sometimes people think there's people hating, I don't think it is like that, because the people that use social media for the good, because they can connect and they can reach out and they use it for the right way. They you know, it has helped a lot of people and a lot of communities to come closer to each other.
Word up.
You know?
No doubt.
And maybe because we've come a lot closer, people think it's okay that then to take it a step further and get critical. And after getting critical and you're comfortable about being critical, you're going to start hating. But that's wrong. That's the street you don't want to go into, you know? It's a blessing that I can talk to you right now, which we couldn't 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we couldn't conversate this way, you know? It is a blessing for our culture because it used to be a lot harder for us as a culture to be, you know, see each other off the dance floor or off away from the events. But now you have your blogs, your channel's called MZK Worldwide. Well, you are worldwide right now, you know. But then use your statement, your MZK Worldwide. Use it for the good. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And I think that's what you do. You use your MZK Worldwide, and you still respect the fact that I'm from the Netherlands. I respect you that you're from the USA. We have a different background, We normally don't speak each other's languages. So
Mm-hmm.
there's no way, there's no hair on my head that will think like, yo, I need to say something bad about MZK Worldwide. You understand what I mean?
Right. Yeah, bro.
You know?
I feel you.
And I hope that more people, you know, with everything that they do, they can sometimes. That's why I fucks with Tyquan, Renegade says.
Word up. Trust your renegade.
But you
You've
know,
been going tangent online though.
yeah. You know,
My man renegade.
But
Go ahead.
yeah. So look, DJ Brown breaks, yeah, Brazil. You know what I mean? It's crazier and crazier. But I think because of sometimes some things become the norm. You know, that's what we say in the Netherlands. I don't know if you guys say it out here. Things become the standard. Things become the norm.
Mm-hmm.
That people think it's all right. You know,
it's all right. Right.
But it isn't. It is not. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not because people are easier to reach or easier to find. You can just start hating on them. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But actually use things for the good, like you do right now with your channel, and next week somebody else is speaking. You know, lately I've been seeing these things like, you know, MZK Worldwide. I got the Break Free Worldwide. I was on there with Mario. There's so many
Shots
people.
To Break Free.
Yes, there's so many people right now that are using more
social media,
everything that is in their power, you know, around them. To move the culture forward in their own way, which I like, you know. I really like that. And but I think there's way more organizations today working together. You know, I'm involved with the Undisputed group, you know, and it's amazing that people that have been working with each other for so many years actually find something to do collectively, you know.
Right.
But you know what happens? Other people start hating. You know what I mean? Why? Because some people can get along. You know what I mean? That's I don't really get that. And if you have second thoughts about it, like why, or you are critical, then maybe just ask. You know, and maybe, and if you still not agree, then go do something else. Go do your own thing. Go start your own organization or I don't know. You know, it's something as me.
Yeah, do something productive. You know, contribute to the culture, and instead of, you know, just always judging people. You know.
Yeah, I try to be productive. You know, I try to connect with people, reach out to people. People reach out to me, and because I've learned that that's the vehicle, that's the real hip hop, so to say, right? Sometimes I think people try to find the definition of hip hop in so many different words, but actually it's just you and me talking right now because we share the same love for the dance or the music or the culture, and that is hip hop. That's a secret. You there's no way to describe that. You know, it's something that if you want to do it and I want to do it and we both want to be in the same place, we want to reach like, you know, reach out and you know, I never would expect, you know, that I would be talking to you, somebody from the USA. I never ever, when I was young, I've never expected this. Never.
Right. On Instagram, you know, like live, like, you know.
Exactly. And you know, it brings me to a point that, you know, a lot of the people that I know, like yourself, you've been to I.B.E. What was it, like 2012? Something like that.
2010, 2011. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And and you know the IBE since way back, you know.
Of course.
You so you grew up with it, and
Mm-hmm.
and it makes me think sometimes that if you're 21 years old right now or 24 years old, and you've come up in the as a b-boy, when you first were introduced to Breakin, I.B.E was already there.
Mm-hmm.
Battle of Year was already there. BC1 was already there. So if you, and this is what I think about sometimes, that because people have an opinion on things because they don't know the full history of it. And then I understand, you know, I understand sometimes that people have assumptions because they don't know Tyrone or Mario B when they were like, you know, still just some young guys that just want to do good for the scene, you know. When we came up. So they only know, oh, I.B.E is the big event, or Battle of Year is the big event. And it's already established. So I understand, and we need to deal with that too. It's a blessing that we're around for 20 years, but it also means that people who are coming up in the scene right now, that it's new to them, you know. But and it's also our responsibility, you know, to sometimes inform those people, you know, like, hey, I'm not the millionaire you think I am. You know what I mean?
Right.
BC1 isn't doing this on purpose or whatever, you know. And so, you know, sometimes people see it as like, oh, they were like institutions, you know, and they and I do believe it's in the culture sometimes to have refreshment, you know, to I think the one of the big strong things in hip hop is to find a, a refreshing wind. You know what I mean? Because that's what when hip hop was introduced, it was fresh, it was new, it was against the grain. You know, it was, and that's inside the DNA of hip hop is to be original, to be new, to come fresh. And then I understand it when sometimes people feel that I.B.E or Battle of Year is an institution, but yeah, why this and why that and why got these big? Because people always say, oh, these big events. Man, we were once small. You know what I mean? And for me, we're still small. We're still small. You know what a big event is? Coachella is a big event. You know? Coachella is a big event. You know? The NFL, that's a big event. You know, the NBA, that's a big event. You know? So what are you talking about? You know?
Right.
But I understand, and that we need to clarify sometimes. We need to open up. And this is the reason that the programming in I.B.E, about 70% of all the programs are being curated or performed by other people. Now, if you've never been to I.B.E, you think, oh, it's all Tyrone, you know, or it's all Mario, but it isn't.
It isn't, right?
You know? Did you know we have a music program for a couple of years now? Did you know that Mario B started his programming for making music, the producing of beats, you know, because he felt that that probably in the future we need more music from the scene itself. So he started this perfect beat movement that's focusing on the way the dance community makes their own music, you know. And it's in I.B.E now for 4 years. You know, Marlon did poetry at I.B.E last year. He did.
Shouts to Marlon.
You know, these things also happen. So, but if you don't know, you're just gonna go by what you heard, you know. And and I think it's important for us to find, to renew ourselves also. When Taufik asked me, like, yo, Tyrone, I want to do this battle. It's going to be a Crash Bandicoot. And I said, what kind of name is that, for and what's the purpose? And he said, yeah, well, people can do whatever power move tricks and they can crash. And I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense, right? Not to me, because for me, it's like, you're not supposed to crash in breaking,
Right.
But that's me. I'm 44 years old. I'm from a different generation.
Right.
If he wants to do a battle and everybody goes all out, and all those kids have fun, then that's the new spirit that we need to put into the community also, and we can't dictate all the time for what's good and what's not good. We sometimes just have to have the young generation find out for themselves or find their own kicks of what they want to do. And so I'm happy that under this support that we have, that we can actually give other people a chance to do a program, to come out with the community, like for 3-4 years we have this like experimental dance at I.B.E. You've never seen anything like it, and I've never seen anything like it, really. Last year there was doing this experimental performance thing with live music, and they have these things and obstacles that they have tasks,
Wow.
And they were throwing paint all over each other.
Oh, what? Wow.
Yeah. What is the paint has to do with dance, But I'm not there to question that. Really, I'm not.
It's art at the end of the day.
Yeah, it makes. I was even like, whoa, I don't know. This is too much.
Start throwing paint.
Yeah, that was. But it's a good thing, to have everybody. And I think this is where the misconception comes from, that if people say, well, if you win the I.B.E, you don't get nothing. Okay. How do you win the I.B.E? You know what I mean?
Right.
How? You don't, right? Because it's a festival, and so, and I can't explain. And I think you said it right, man. It's when you want to explain to somebody what the festival is, there is no way.
Yeah.
There is no way. But even a simple example as like any event, yeah. Can you explain any event just by saying, "Oh, that's this and that's that"? No, you just have to go, because I think the event is not just the competition. Because for me, if I go to freestyle session, I can say, yeah, they have a crew battle and a one-on-one freestyle session, and that's it. No, that's not it. That is not it. You understand? There's people that have. There's so many things that are people coming together, having a moment together, sharing the dance floor, sharing time in the workshop, sharing time at the bar, at the hotel lobby. That's also freestyle session. You know what I mean? Meeting each other in the downtown area and be like, whoa, where you from?
Right.
Man, that's also freestyle session, So don't try to make a statement just on one little detail, You never should make any assumptions like that. It's wrong. Because what's maybe free session to you is not free session for somebody else. I know people that come to I.B.E that don't pay a ticket. It sounds weird, right? They don't buy a ticket for I.B.E, but they come. Because they feel like, yo, I don't feel like entering all those competitions, and I'm just gonna sit out here on the square in the city, in the middle of the city, and everybody's passing by because
Yeah, everybody. Yeah.
yeah, everybody's walking around, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
look, this is yeah. But I know we get a lot of support, you know, and it's overwhelming that people are like, yeah, you guys do a good job, you know, and
Yeah,
I'm telling
definitely.
you, the people that speak that like to come to the event, that like to hang out with us, you know, that respect us, is is so much more than, you know, so much more worth than the little bit of like heat or hate
Hatred.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, Tyrone. You know,
Yeah.
like I said, keep doing your thing, bro. You know, I know what it is. A lot of people know what it is. You know, because I've been there. I see the energy. I see the spirit, the experiences, the people, the music, the dance, the parties. The party's wilding. Like the party's, you know, off the hook. You know, everybody's just mingling. Everybody, you know, having a toast and the hotel lobby, you know, like I've been with a lot of people in the hotel lobby, you know,
Oh yeah.
in the bar, like straight up, man. Like it's crazy, you know. So
Yeah.
people out
That's,
there, go ahead.
well, you know, I'm happy also that throughout the summer in Europe, there's more and more cultural events right now. You know, Outbreak, Catch the Flavor, Yalta Summer Jam,
Yeah, yeah.
the Radical Force Jam. You know, like I said, we were inspired by B-Boy Pro-Am. Mario went there. B-Boy Summit, I watched all the videos. Rocksteady Anniversary. These events are staples, man. They showed us what the cultural hip hop event has to look like, you know. And and that's great. So and to see that coming back more and more, because it's all about festivals nowadays.
Yep.
For me, I feel kids are maybe less street or less ghetto nowadays. You know, I remember back in the day when I did I.B.E, especially in Rotterdam, and I had to promise the venue that nothing would be tagged or nothing would be, you know, destroyed for graffiti wise. Nowadays, these things are not happening anymore. But on the flip side, the young generation are smart people, man. They back in the day, the only thing that we wanted to talk about amongst dancers or b-boys is like, what do you think of biting? What do you think of judging? What do you think of this? You know, but this year at I.B.E, Moy did a talk about business. It was called Breakin Business with Moy.
Right.
It was full. It was full of people because not everybody wants to talk about biting all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's a big plus that I experience nowadays in the younger generations, because they're more, maybe they're less streetwise, but they know more of the world than what we used to we used to back in the day. You understand?
I understand totally.
Because if people were street,
shout to the new generation.
Yeah, if the guys in Mallorca were street, they would not come to your workshop.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, why we gotta go see this guy from US, you know?
Right, exactly.
But but because they know so much of the world, they probably follow you, they know what you are, they know what you represent, and then they come out to your workshop, and then even if they have to use their hands because they don't speak any English, they'll come and they'll try to show you they'll try to appreciate you, and this is something that, like I told you, the renewal, I don't really know the English word for it, but the energy to keep it going and to keep coming fresh, You know, yeah. Do I want to talk about biting? Maybe yes. But if the kids don't want to talk about it, and they want to know more about business with B-Boy Moy, then maybe that's the thing that we need to go by. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with you, bro. You know, I mean, hey, for the people out there that haven't been to I.B.E, you know, um, yo, once in a lifetime, you know, experience that you have, like for real, like it's mind blowing. It's honestly it's life changing in a way because it's so like the word that you say is inspirational. You know what I'm saying? It's very inspirational just to see different people from different parts of the world being there. The whole city turned to a whole festival, you know, and you can go to different programs.
I miss the street. I miss the street in B-boy culture too.
Yeah, I mean, we all miss it, but the time, you know, the new generation, like I said, we have to accept that the new generation don't come from the street like us, you know. So in a way, we gotta know we can't just you this and that to this new generation, right? Because they were like, wait, what? They don't understand.
But maybe the street will come back, but in a way that you and me and over generation won't understand. You understand what I mean? And because even if the scene would be really street and and grimy now, I wouldn't understand. You know what I mean? Because I'm older and wiser, maybe. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just because sometimes people ask me, yo, Tyrone, you need to do I.B.E like USA versus Korea back in the day, you know? You need to do it like with the times with Alien Nest, blah 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 blah. And it's like it's the community that decides themselves, you know. If it's in the culture and people want it to be at I.B.E, they'll bring it to I.B.E. You know what I mean? Sometimes I hear about cypher battles at I.B.E that are happening, and I'm happy because I'm like, yeah, you know, obviously there's still people still looking for that little corner, little spot at the venue or whatever, and they're gonna do whatever they want to do, you know. Last year, the Kings Without Crowns came out with the full crew, full posse, and they converted their merchandise booth into a bar. You know, they made a merchandise booth their own way, you know. Right. And there was booze and there was a couch and people were smoking and people having fun and having the ball, you know.
They were battling, right?
But on the side, they were having some awesome battles on concrete, you know. So sometimes you can't orchestrate it, you know. You don't want to orchestrate it because you can't orchestrate the streets, you know.
Right.
There's so many different flavors right now that you need to make things go its course, you know.
No doubt.
Look, we're in a good position because it's a big event, I.B.E. There's so many different venues. There's outdoor places, so we have room for many things, you know.
Right.
But we decided for the community to shape it, you know. I don't wanna say, yeah, you need to come to this cypher battle and that's it. No, you know, because most of the programs is whatever they want to do. The community that brings it, and I hope more events, more promoters can do more. You know, you know, because you know sometimes the events they have like a lot of competition, a lot of and there's not any room for cultural programming, for talk show, maybe for a movie, you know. Why don't you just show Wild Style at the event, you know? or maybe you show I don't know some legendary Lords of the Floor battle at the event. You know, that's dope. Or maybe you invite Nasty Ray for his art, or ask Menno to do, or whatever. You know, there's so much more that people bring to the table nowadays, and I wish more people, more organizations could do that. And because that's mostly when I, you know, like I said, I go to Outbreak and I really, really have a good time. You know, last year I sat by the pool in Outbreak almost half the event because it was, you know, they decided to go to this place where there's a pool and there's people in the sun and having fun. And then you really, really see people enjoying themselves. They really have a good time. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to say.
Word up, Tyrone.
Because we can talk forever, of course.
Yeah, and you know, I just want to give you a shout for even, you know, giving you the time and effort to get on here, you know, to speak your piece and all that, you know. So respect due to you, brother, you know, and I feel like I'm getting the exclusive, right? Because you wouldn't talk to anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you like, yo, Ty, you know, let's do this, talk about this, you know.
It's the name. It's the name.
Yeah. So you know,
Ty.
you good with MZK, man. You know what I'm saying? So you know how we roll. You know, people can talk about us. I mean, we've been there. Like people talk about us all the time, so it's nothing. You know, so. If after this interview, Cat's gonna say, yo, Ty this and MZK that, it's like, man, look, that's online shit. It's not real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, real life is me face to face and, you know, let's build, what have you, you know? And that's what it's about, man. But people can say whatever, you know, I don't care. Even after this, people can say, yo, you supporting him and, yeah, that's the bro. Like, I know Tyrone since way back, you know what I mean? So yeah, bro. I mean, Ness loves you. You know, you was just with Ness like what a couple months ago. You know, kicking it. I was building in Texas and all that. So
we had to visit the
nothing, man. Like, look, we good. You know what I'm saying? We keep pushing the culture forward. We move the culture. You know, and that's what we got to do, man. The talker will always gonna talk. You know what I'm saying? But the doers always gonna be the doers. You know, so. Big shouts to you. Shouts to everybody that's joining for watching this in I.B.E 2019, August 9th to 11th. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right, my brother. Tyrone.
Thank you for the
one love.
All right.
Always. Peace.